Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather with Heather's Country Crochet and More. If you are new here, welcome and thanks for stopping by. We talk about crochet, knitting, yarn dyeing, some diamond painting occasionally, cross stitching occasionally. However, I haven't cross stitched in a while. Just anything crafting, anything to do with crafting. Of course, I'm not much of a sewer. I have done a little bit of stuff, but I'm not real good at it. Yeah, so everybody welcome and thanks for stopping by. I'm glad to have you. And I have me some coffee here, and I got quite a bit here to talk about today. So grab you something to drink, something to snack on, whatever, and get comfy with your whatever you're working on or whatever, and let's just chat a bit. First, I'd like to say, what is up with this weather? Y'all, it's February, and I am so hot down here in the South. I wish I could be up north with all of my northern yarny friends right now. Of course, they probably wish they could be down here in the South. Oh my gosh, y'all. It is, excuse me, it is February, and it has been in the 80s for like 2 weeks. And I'm dying. It is so hot. Y'all can see I have the fan on right here because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And I'm hot. I'm so hot. I don't know if it's me or if it's the weather or what it is, but I'm just hot. I am so hot. So, I don't know what's going on with this weather, but I need some cold weather. I want to move north. Maybe one day. So, anyways, I have a few finished objects, a few whips, and some acquisitions that I'm going to talk about, a little bit of news, and so yeah, let's get started. The first thing I want to show is this test knit that I have been working on. It was a sock. I'm gonna get up there so you can see. It's, y'all, this was my first time doing cables in knitting, and I did it. So this was a test knit, and it's got a long cuff there, and it's made to fold down like vintage retro style there. So cute. And I did this for Jennifer with Alindria Knits. This is called the Cuff It Real Good socks. And I started this test knit on February 16th, and I finished it on February 21st. The requirement was just one sock. I'm going to make the other one, but I just ran out of time before the deadline to be finished to finish the second sock, but I haven't started the second sock yet. But I did finish the first one for her, and it is so cute. Now, the yarn that I used was this here color that came from Daniel with Paul Ply yarn. of the Pawpaw guys, called Hydrangea. Pawpaw Yarn Company. Hydrangea. However, I don't believe he is doing yarn anymore. The last that I had heard, he stated that he was no longer going to do any yarn. But it is a DK weight sock. So, and then I used one of my Yarnable yarns, the Raven, as the contrast color for this sock. And I think it turned out really cute. I like the colors together because, I mean, you have the pink here, and then they just kind of go together to me. So, yeah. So that was my test knit that I've done. And then I did the Annie's Love to Knit Club summer shorts pattern, because I have wanted to try this pattern ever since I got this kit in. I think it was like the third kit that I got, maybe. I don't remember. But give you a close-up of that pattern there. And then I don't know if I have I don't know where my sock blocker is. I wanted to put this on a sock blocker for y'all, but I finished a pair. I have 2 socks. I finished a pair of these. Y'all, I love them. Now, mine look different than the picture because it stated in the pattern to like split the yarn into 2 balls and knit from both of them to avoid the pulling. But with the way that these striped out, I mean, it's like self-strapping to me. So I like the way that this turned out. The cuff is a 1x1 rib, and there's a different heel than I was used to. But then there's this little pattern on the top of the foot, and then the bottom of the foot is just regular. However, I did change the toe of the sock. I did not. I followed the pattern all the way to the toe. But if you'll notice that the toe here and my toe are different, because I have a specific toe that I like for my socks. So I did the toe that I like better instead of following the pattern. And also, if you'll notice too, there's like a little pom-pom on the back of these socks. I did not do the pom-pom on the back of the socks. I don't want a pom-pom on my socks. That will just be something there to tickle the back of my leg, and I'm going to be itching and scratching, and no, I don't want no pom-pom on my sock that I'm wearing. But I love the pattern. It's probably my new favorite pattern. I absolutely enjoyed this. It works up so fast. I did these socks. I started on February 23rd and I finished on February 27th. So I made these socks in 4 days. And I didn't even work on them for full days, okay? I did like half a sock in a few hours one day, the other half in a few hours another day. And then, so if I worked like on these steadily, I could do these in like 2 days, period. If I had time to just sit and knit on these socks and do nothing else. So this pattern worked up so fast. So whether you're new to knitting or, new to knitting socks, or you're an experienced knitter, if you are not a member of the Annie's Love to Knit socks, I highly, highly recommend it. It's a subscription. You get a kit every single month, and you get a skein of yarn and a pattern, and y'all, I just love them. I love these patterns. I love the socks. I love the yarn, and because you get to really test out like new patterns, new yarn, people, like companies that you've never used before, or maybe you have, new creators that you've never, you know, done any of their designs before or whatever. And so yeah, I really recommend Annie's kit clubs, any of them. I have some of her crochet kit clubs also, and they're just awesome. I love them. I am not affiliated with Annie's, just putting that out there. I just really recommend it because I love them. They're just awesome. So that is my second finished object. Now, my third finished object was a whip on my last episode, and it is the Winter Cabled Throw by Bonnie Bay Crochet. It is a paid for pattern. Once you buy and pay for the pattern, through the pattern there is a video tutorial to go along with the pattern. However, there's not a free video tutorial without buying the pattern on her channel or anything like that. I am going to scooch over and try to get this. You know what? I'm just going to stand up because this blanket is so huge and so thick. And this is folded in half, y'all, because there is so much detail in this pattern. And this center cable here, oh my gosh, I love it so much. It has the ribbon at the bottom and as well as at the top. So you basically crochet your border on this blanket while you're crocheting the blanket. So once you finish your last row, you're done with the blanket. It's awesome. Awesome. I absolutely love that blanket. Now, it did take me quite a while to do it because, as you saw, there was a lot of detail in that blanket. And even though it was a lot of detail, it's very repetitive. So, you know, I had to take breaks from it. But I started that blanket on January 11th of this year. That was a brand new blanket whip for this year. And I finished it February 21st. I love it. I will never make it again. Oh my gosh. I love the way that it turned out. It is so gorgeous. It's so squishy. And it is a blanket that I will keep forever. But I do not ever want to make it again. That thing took me so long. And it was so tedious because of all of the different cable patterns that is in it. I am glad that I done the blanket, because when I saw it, I really wanted to do it. I loved the way that center cable is. I had to challenge myself to do that. Excuse me. Okay. Anyway, So yeah, I finished that blanket. I am so thrilled that I finished that blanket. But I do not want to make it again. So hopefully none of my family members see it and say, oh, I want one of those. Like my mom. Because then I'm going to feel obligated to make her one, and I really don't want to. Because that thing took me a long time. However, when she saw these socks, her favorite color is yellow. And so when she saw these socks, she was like, oh, I like them. And I was like, I knew you was going to say that. Because she likes that she loves yellow. So I had, let's see. I had a lot of yarn left. So, and she has a small foot. So I'm thinking that I can get a pair for her out of the rest of this. I'm going to really, really try to. Hopefully I'll be able to. I might try like doing a contrast cuff and toe or something, just so that I'll have enough. I don't know. But another thing I wanted to show is this little yarn cozy. Now, this is, y'all, I made this so fast. It didn't even take but just a couple of hours. I love it. It is so cool. This is Natalie with Nitty Natty. Her pattern. It is a paid for pattern. On Ravelry. And y'all, everything that I talk about today, by the way, will be linked below in the description box. All of my projects have a project page on my Ravelry. So if you need any, specific details about anything, you can look at my Ravelry project pages for any of my projects. But she has a couple of different patterns in one. So, but I just did a ribbon pattern, and then it's in the round, it's knit in the round with this I-cord bind off. And y'all, this was the first time that I had ever done a project like this, so I'm really shocked at myself that I did it as quickly as I did, because especially with this here, because I've not done any of this kind of stuff except with the only time that I've done this kind of knitting was when I did my muscle burrow hat, and I've not even completed it yet. It's still sitting on hold over there. But starting knitting in the round like that, I've only done it when I started that muscle burr hat, so I'm very proud of myself for being able to make this. And she has these in several different sizes. She has one for a 100-gram cake, a 50-gram, and a mini skein. So if you're interested in that, I will definitely be linking that below as well. Make sure to check that out if you are interested in that. I have notes down here that I am looking at, y'all. I made notes for myself this episode so that I would maybe not forget to mention anything, because y'all, I'm gonna just take a pause a minute and just say this. There have been so many of my podcast episodes or my videos or anything that I have done, and then I'll have like everything in my mind before I make my video of what I want to talk about, and then once I start recording, it's like my mind just blanks and I forget everything that I've wanted to talk about, and I leave stuff out. I forget to mention stuff. So I'm really going to try that is one of my new goals for this year, is to try and make podcast notes or video notes, whatever, before my videos, so that hopefully I don't forget to mention anything. We'll see how it goes. So, oh, and one other, I forgot to show. This is the yarn for this yarn here. It is the Lena Grossa. I can't pronounce all of that, but there's not, it's a limited edition, so there's not a color name or anything. See if I can get it to focus. So, but this was the yarn that came with that kit. Okay. Oh, and for the winter cable throw, I just used these here. Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo in the color Aran. I used about 3.5 of these when I was crocheting that blanket up. So, oh, I like the pattern, that blanket there. I can't tell. I think it's a knitted blanket. It is. Because it says it takes 5.5 millimeter knitting needles. Huh. Exquisite cabled throw. It's really pretty. I will say I love cables and crochet, but I'm not very huge of a fan of them in knitting. They are hard to do in knitting. In that test knit that I was doing, these are just 1x1 cables, and which I'm thankful for because I've never done cables before, and so it was a good project for me to start on as far as like learning to do cables. And I'm not saying that, you know, in the future, if I practiced cables more, I'm sure that I would get better at them. But right now, I'm not a fan of them. I like simple knitting. I like the intermediate crochet, advanced crochet, whatever. But I'm simple knitter right now because I'm still so new to knitting. I think I'm afraid of knitting. My experience level isn't advanced enough in my knitting yet for me to feel comfortable enough to really, I don't know, do a lot of it, I guess. I don't know. I've crocheted for so long that, I don't know, I just feel more comfortable with crochet because I've done it for so long. Anyways, let's get into my whips. So I have a few that I've been like actively working on. So let's talk about them. The first one I want to talk about is, we'll talk about this one. A sock, of course, that I am knitting for my dad. So I made him his very first pair of hand knit socks for Christmas. And Christmas Eve, when we did our gift exchanges, I kept trying to get him to try them on so that I would know if they fit or not. And he wouldn't try them on. Well, a few weeks ago, because like I said, it's been hot, but we got like 1 week there where there was this really cold spell that came through, and his feet was cold because Mama would not turn on the heat because she said that it would get too hot and she wouldn't be able to breathe. So his feet got cold, so he put on the socks that I made him. And he fell in love with them, and he was like, I need some more of these because they are so warm. And, you know, he was just going on and on about them. So I was like, okay, well, I'll make some more. So this yarn is some yarn that I bought from a, it's The Wicked Knitter on Etsy. I think that's right. No, I found her on Instagram, and that is her website right there, but I'll link her below. And the color of this yarn is splattered paint. So I thought this would be a good color for a man's sock. And my daddy likes short socks. He does not wear long socks at all. So I am making him another pair of socks for his feet so that they're not cold. And my sister is very, very, very hot-natured, so she keeps the house very cold when she's home anyway. So even in the summertime, Daddy's gonna need some socks. So that's those. Oh, and I started those February 16th, and I'm basically using Crazy Sock Lady, Kay Litton, her vanilla socks on 9-inch circular pattern. And I just modified it for a shorty sock. So yeah, another project that I started this on February 14th, and someone else on YouTube that I watch made one of these it's a sweater. And they made one of these sweaters, and I just thought that it was so pretty. And I knew that it was going to be a challenge for me. I cannot get these papers apart. I knew that it was going to be a challenge for me, being a new knitter that I am. Let's see. But this is the sweater. What it's gonna look like. I hope y'all can see that, because it's the picture's like really far off. I don't think there's any other pictures in the pattern, but it is a paid for pattern. It is called the Whitmore sweater, and it is by Amy Loudon, and it is knitted top down, and let me see if I can get it. So like the pattern is like really lacy like. Oh, well, there went my progress keeper, or my beginning around marker. Okay, so it's a really lacy pattern, and I really like it, but it is very, very time consuming, especially for me, because I have to really pay attention to what I'm doing. I am enjoying making it though. It's going to take me a while to do it though, but this is like I said, it's a top-down sweater. So, and that's what I've gotten done so far. Let's see. I'm 14 rounds into the pattern, and then I have the ribbon. And let me grab my, oh Lord. I have my cheese marker here that I'm using as my beginning of round marker. A slice of cheese. I love cheese. It's not a good thing, but I love cheese. And I'm using Yarn Bees. Oh, I have a one. It is like this. Come from Hobby Lobby. I'm using it. It is a 3 weight DK, soft and sleek DK yarn bee. It's a low peel acrylic yarn. And the name of this is Pretty in Peacock. I just thought that color was so pretty, y'all. That's so me. You know, that bluish color, and it's like it's almost like a tonal. I really wanted to try to find like an affordable wool to do a sweater in, and I just cannot bring myself to pay $100 or more for the wool yarn to make a sweater for myself, because I'm a bigger person, so it takes quite a bit of yardage and for me to make a sweater. So I decided to go with this yarn because it is still soft. Oh my gosh, it is so soft. And it is nice enough for a garment. It, like I said, it resembles the wool yarn, even though it's an acrylic. Let me see. How can I? So, I don't know. Let me see. It's similar, even though it's an acrylic. Actually, I think this yarn is softer than this, and this is a wool. This is merino wool, and this is the acrylic, and it is, I think it's softer than this. However, because of the way that this is balled up, I have me a homemade yarn bowl here, and I will show y'all how I do that. So I take one of these little clips here, and I just have like I think this is actually a cake plate topper. And I just clip it on there. I run my yarn through there, and I put my ball of yarn in there, and it feeds through, and I don't have to worry about it rolling everywhere or anything like that. And I don't have to deal with a bunch of mess from the trying to pull from the inside of this like donut or whatever. It can roll from the outside of the yarn, and it can just roll around in this bowl while I'm knitting or crocheting or whatever away, and it works out. So that is how I do that. So next thing is so a lot of people have been making the scrappy squares, like granny squares blankets, and I have so many scraps, y'all, 4-weight scraps. A lot of people have been doing it out of like thinner yarn, but I have so many 4-weight scraps that I started making squares out of my 4-weights, because last episode I showed y'all where I had started me the granny stripe blanket with my scrap yarn. Well, I still have so much scrap yarn left over, even after I put scrap yarn in the color into my granny stripe blanket. So I was like, there's got to be something else that I can do with it. So I started putting them into squares, and I have that many done so far, and I still have more scrap yarn to go. So I've got me a little stack of squares going, and once I have enough squares for a blanket, I will join them all together with the continuous join as you go, because I hate sewing squares together with a needle. I hate it. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that I have started, I have not done that much crocheting in the month of February. Y'all can tell that by now. I did so much crocheting in January that I wanted to do some knitting in February. So therefore, I have done more knitting in February than I did crochet. So during Vlogmas, I showed y'all some Advent yarn that I bought. Well, this Advent yarn I actually got from it was a D-stash that the Wicked Knitter, she was doing a D-stash on her website, and I had missed the chance to get the Stranger Things Advent on the Dragon Horde Yarns website when they were doing their 2022 Advent, Yarn Advent. So when the Wicked Knitter did her D-stash, she had put Dragon Horde Yarns Advent from 2021 on her D-stash, and it just so happened to be Stranger Things themed. So I put all 12 minis into a cake. I made a magic knot cake out of them. And I have some finger and weight bare natural yarn that I caked up, and I'm holding them together, and it makes like a DK weight. And I started a blanket. It is the Cozy Comfort Throw by Molly from a Homespun House. It is, I believe, listed as an Advent like throw or whatever, a throw that was made for like Advents. I started it on February 25th, and I have a project page for it as well. I did not follow the pattern completely. I cast on more stitches than what the pattern called for, because I don't know, it just didn't seem big enough to me. I'm a bigger girl, so I like bigger blankets. But I am keeping this in my bag that I got in my Yarnable subscription last month. It says yarn is my love language. And so yeah, I have been trying to figure out what I was going to do with that yarn since I got it. And I just decided that I wanted a way that I could use the yarn and still, you know, kind of remember what it was. So I decided to do it that way. Now, this blanket was designed for a 25 mini skein advent. So the advent that I purchased from Dragon Horde Yarn, which was the fade set, or fade advent, it was the fade into fairy or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'll be adding that into this as well. Once I finish all of this cake, then I will cake up those 12. Now, technically mine is only going to be 24. I don't know. I have plenty of like leftover yarn from making socks and stuff, so I could just technically, you know, add in a 25th if I needed to, depending on how big the blanket is once I finish. I don't know. But I'm gonna, you know, put that advent all into a magic knot cake as well, and then join it in. And yeah, so like I said, there's a project page for all of this on my Ravelry if you are interested in that. So let's see, I have one more whip to show. Yeah, one last whip. And y'all, I am just not, I don't know. I'm gonna do it because I do it every year. So, but it's the calendar blanket for Jada Stitches. I do her calendar blanket every year, and I'm just not feeling it this year. I don't know what it is, but I finished January finally. But that's as far as I've gotten on February. And today's the last day of February. The new March's stripe, whatever, will come out this Friday. And I still haven't finished February. I'm just not feeling it like I usually am. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. Not as excited about this style of blanket, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe my mood will change. I don't know if it's just because I've been knitting a lot, you know, socks and crocheting on like the cable blankets and stuff here lately, or I don't know what it is. I don't know. But hopefully I'll get back more into it. I mean, I'm still like doing it, and I'm not enjoying it as much as I normally do. Usually I love doing her blankets. I look forward to them and can't wait for the new, you know, month to come out and everything, but I don't know. But anyway, so, okay, let's talk about some yarn. So every month I get my Annie's Love to Knit Socks Club. And this month's is this pattern. It is a cabled sock pattern. So it might be a while before I do that one. But this is the yarn that came with it. And I love this yarn. Blue, y'all, is my color. I love blue. Y'all know this. This is a company that I have not ever heard of before. It is by Zen Yarn Garden. It's a super fine fingering weight yarn. And this is 90% superfine superwash merino, 10% nylon. So there's not quite as much nylon in this as I usually use for making my socks. But it says that there's approximately 400 yards. It says hand or machine wash and air dry. I don't know. The color is midnight blue, and it says that it was milled in Italy, hand dyed in Canada. I love this color, and I mean, it's definitely a merino yarn, sock yarn. I just don't know how I feel about that, only the 10% nylon. Because I usually like at least 20% nylon in my sock yarn for me to make socks with. So, I don't know. Smells like vinegar. So that's this month's Love to Knit Club. I like the way that pattern looks. I don't know if it'll focus on there for y'all to be able to see it without a glare or not. I love the way that looks. I just know that it will be a very tedious pattern for me to do. So, it may be a little while before I try those. But I still have so many to do that I haven't done yet either. I think I have like 3 or 4 maybe patterns that I haven't even done yet because I've been doing so much other stuff. So when I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought the yarn for the Whitmore sweater that I'm making, there's another sweater that I want to make that's a crochet sweater, and it's called Bonnie's Aran cabled sweater. Bonnie Bay Crochet. And so I went ahead and bought, see, it's done with DK weight yarn also. And again, crochet takes more yarn than knitting does. So again, I could not afford the yardage for like wool yarn. So while I was in Hobby Lobby, I saw this. It's the I Love This Yarn line sport weight yarn, which is considered a 3 lightweight for them. And this is the color Confetti. And you might can see in here like these little specks of different little colors in the yarn. Let's see. Yeah, there's some. See how it just runs through there? And it is so cute to me. I love it. So I'm going to use this yarn for making that sweater, because I got this while it was during the 30% off week at Hobby Lobby. It's regular $2.29. So I was able to get this for like $1 or something. I can't remember, a skein. And I had to have like, I think like 13 skeins. So that's a lot, you know. So yeah, I was able to get this yarn a lot cheaper, and it's soft, y'all. I mean, even though it's an acrylic yarn, it's soft. But it's 90% acrylic, 8% viscose, and 2% polyester. There's 230 yards. It's 2.5 ounces, 71 grams. Like I said, the color is confetti. And I think that this will work just fine for the sweater that I'm wanting to make with it, even though it's not a wool yarn. But I have a couple of acrylic sweaters, and they're just as warm. I mean, I don't got to have wool. So, yeah. So, now this yarn I'm very, very excited about, because I wanted to get it the first time that they came out with it on their website, and I was not able to because I did not have no money. I was broke. And so now, granted, I'm not really that much into Valentine's, okay? So, I mean, I don't like usually make specific items for Valentine's or go all out for Valentine's or anything like that. But this set of yarn was basically made for Valentine's. It even has Valentine in the name. But I loved the colors of this yarn. So I really, really, really wanted this set. And I wanted to make, it's a sock set. And I wanted to make the pattern that was created for this sock set. Because I like it. So, like I said, I missed the first round for this sock set, and when I saw that they were going to do a second round, I snatched it up very fast because I did not want to miss it again. So, it is the Vintage Valentine Sock Set by Moonglow Yarn Company. And you get 5 mini skeins in these colors and a full skein in that color. And it's all 75-25, just like I like for my socks. The full skein is 100 gram, 463 yards. It doesn't say what the minis are. Let's see. It says 150 grams total. So the mini skeins are 10 gram skein minis, 10 gram minis. So yeah. But I have wanted this so badly, and Kay Litton with the Crazy Sock Lady, she created a pattern specifically for this sock set called the Love Story Socks. And I will link all that below in the description box as well. But I wanted to share this on my YouTube channel with y'all before I cake it up. But as soon as I'm through with this video, y'all, I'm caking this up and I'm starting these socks because I am so excited and I wanted to make these so badly. So I just can't wait to do it. I'm so ready to do it. So yeah, that is going to be a brand new whip cast on today. Now, last acquisition for yarn. Okay. I was moseying around on Etsy and I come across something. So I love like mystery bags, mystery boxes, and stuff like that of, you know, yarn. So I came across this mystery mini set, I guess, whatever. And it's like I said, it's on Etsy. The name of the company is Back Porch Fiber Co. And they were doing they had a mystery mini bundle for like $20. It was a set of 5. You got a set of 5 mystery minis that were just mystery. And I got those in. And I'm satisfied, y'all. These are so pretty. And I don't have a lot of minis that are like tonal or just plain. So these I am very satisfied with. I really like this because you could use that as like throwing it in with a scrappy sock or something. So I'm really, really glad that I decided to do that. And that was a really good deal. You know what? I think I actually got them cheaper. I think they were on sale for like 10% off or something like that. Anyway, at the making of this video, they have one left in their shop for you to be able to order. So, but I'm going to link their Etsy shop below and everything. So if you want to go and check out their shop, you're welcome to do that. But I'm satisfied with my purchase. Along with that set of mystery minis, they also sent me a little gift. And it is a stitch marker. Let's see. Get it out of here. Yeah. So, if I can get it to focus. There we go. Okay. So, like I said, I'll link this below. I like that. That's pretty cool looking. I'll link everything below in the description box. If you don't know where the description box is, when you are watching my video and you see like below the video the title of the video or whatever, a lot of times it'll say like more, and then you can hit that more, press that more button, and it'll drop down that description box, and everything that I've talked about will be below there. So that's everything that I had to show y'all today. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. One being the 4S blanket cowl that I am hosting for the year-long crochet along. The March square will be coming out next Tuesday, March the 7th. So be on the lookout for that. And also, if you're participating along with me in this crochet along, and you would like to share your progress on your blankets with me, then you can email me a picture, or you can send it to me in a message on Instagram, Facebook, in the Facebook group, anything like that. All of those places that you can find me to share photos with me and things like that are down in the description box as well. I would love to see the color choices and things like that you have decided to do your blanket out of. So if you are doing this, please share your pictures with me so that I can see them. I would love to. I want to see them. I want to see them. I want to see how y'all are liking this. So, please leave me comments and feedback on what y'all are thinking about this kind of stuff. Also, and let me know if y'all are enjoying, everything. So yeah, that will be, the new square comes out, like I said, next Tuesday, March 7th. Last thing that I really want to talk about is, so I've been seeing where, like, different people on YouTube have, like, this membership program where they do, like, special things with their members. So, and it's a group for, like, through Patreon, or whatever. And I was thinking about maybe starting one. But I want to know what y'all think about that. Do y'all think that I should do that? Is that something that y'all would be interested in? For y'all to get, like, special face-to-face time with me, and different things, like exclusive perks for members only and things like that. If that is something that y'all think y'all would be interested in, let me know, and I will look into trying to do that more. But I don't want to do it if nobody's interested in it. So let me know if that's something that y'all would be interested in, and we will go from there on that. So that is all that I have for this episode today. I have talked y'all's head off long enough, I believe. So, everybody, I hope y'all have I hope y'all have a wonderful week, and I will see y'all back here next week when it is time for March's 4S blanket square. Everybody have a great week. See y'all next time. Bye.